Our next speaker is Mr. Amos Snead. And dude is kind of awesome, not gonna lie. Not only is he a snazzy dresser, he's a Southern boy, so he's a gentleman. And that's gonna come into play in a second because he does PR. He's the principal for Story Partners, which is a boutique PR agency here in DC. What's interesting about DC is that it's not LA or New York. I like the way you think. So, what does that have to do with this? Well, one, he's really passionate about DC, and that's kind of why we asked him to speak today. But what's really interesting is doing PR in DC is a lot different than doing PR anywhere else. Why? Because this probably is the only place you have to worry about topless photos and budget legislation. So I can't think of any other place you would have to do that. He's also the founder of FamousDC, which is a must-read blog here in the city if you like to lampoon politicians. He takes a lighthearted approach to it. He's just a really cool dude. He's going to talk to us today about how you do PR in this city, what lessons it can teach all you awesome nerds here today. So please help me welcome Mr. Amos Snead.
All right, you may be wondering, why is this guy here wearing a suit talking to us about communications? I am also wondering that same thing. My name's Amos. I have been in DC about 10 years. We started Story Partners as a PR company about 2 years ago. We started FamousDC in 2007. So Eric asked me, he said, why don't you come talk to us about communicating in DC? And I was like, all right. A, why in the hell did you call me? And B, let's get into it. So we're going to talk about how DC is a little different than other places. So in New York, what drives the day? It's money. Is my money safe? Am I making money? Who's making more money than I am? In Hollywood, what drives the day? It's fame. Where's the next studio blockbuster coming from? But what drives communications in Washington, DC? And that's information. Information is what drives everybody. It's what a tweet from the member of the super committee can actually lead the evening news. So how can you communicate in this information-obsessed city, and how can you be the greatest communicator in Washington, D.C.? All right, it worked out. Nice. All right, so a few couple rules that we're just, well, first let's talk about what is this communication? What is this buzz? And we all know what buzz is. You hear this at work, you pass it along to a friend, it becomes the email. This is when, and then everybody knows, this is when you go to happy hour. What do? You get your cocktail, you get your beer, you bitch about work, and then you talk about what's driving the news of the day. So what is that? Is that, who did Chris Christie endorse? Is that, what did Hank Williams Jr. say about Obama? Anthony Weiner sent a picture of, you see where we're going, right? So it's what drives the day and what this buzz is and how you cut through it. So what I wanted to talk about was what we've learned that's been successful for us. So just a couple, just quick rules. In DC, listen. You're going to have to listen to what the other side's saying. Actually figure out what they're about, what they believe in. Can you reach across the aisle? Can you make a deal? Do you have anything in common? Once you figure out what the other side's saying, defend your point. It's a really smart town. Take a stand for who you are, believe in what you're doing, and then talk about it and defend it. What else do you need to succeed communicating in the city? You need a very, very, very healthy BlackBerry addiction. News is fast, it's 24/7, it's going all around us all the time. You need to pay attention. Now, I'm going to stop here. What else can you, all right, I'm Southern. I grew up in Alabama. Been here, roll tide, I like that. So I've had a lot of friends move up here and they've said, how do I succeed? How do I meet people? How do I get a job? How do I network? And I've told them it's as easy as opening the door for somebody. And it sounds really cheesy, and people will look at you as if you are insane when you stop and open the door for somebody to come through. That's how we approach our business, that's how we approach our website, that's how we approach communications. If you have something that can help someone do their job better, package it up, send it to them. Are they a friend? Are they a client? Do you not even know them? Package it up and send it. So we approach this for everything we do in DC, pay it forward, be nice, go the extra step. Now this works in all aspects of communication. It works at work, it works at play, unless you're driving. If you're driving in DC, don't let anybody merge. Stand your lane, shoot them a bird occasionally. If somebody's walking across a crosswalk with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, scowl at them. And if you see a diplomat tag, immediately pull over to the side of the road. If you see a zip car tag, I know, I live on Capitol Hill, they cannot parallel park. So, I know. So it's pay it forward unless you're driving. What else do we need? You have to be wicked smart in this town, and you also have to be honest.
Wicked? Where are you from, Boston?
I know. All right, you got to be ridiculously smart, right? So, and once you pass information along that people get, and they realize they can trust you, and they realize you're plugged in, and you're giving them something that helps them do their job, they're going to continue to ask for that information. What else do you need? Beer, right? Obviously this works. There's cocktail parties every day. There's stuff after work. You can get out there, you can network, you can expand your network, you can talk to other people. Seriously, this is a cocktail-obsessed city. There's something to do every single day. Get out there, meet new people. What else do you need to do to communicate in this town? Get out of your comfort zone. It's a lot easier to network with somebody if you're sitting your ass in Butts Tubes and Harper's Ferry as opposed to having lunch at the Capitol Grill. So get out there. There's kickball leagues, there's softball leagues. And what else do you need to do? You're going to have to go to the gym. If you're going to go to a happy hour every night, eventually you're going to have to go work out. And it'll keep you sane. You're not going to get fat. And then also, here's what we're trying to, we're actually going to coin a phrase tonight. This is called the DC-15. Let's write it down. The DC-15. If you go to a happy hour every night and you have this rubber chicken, you have this cheap-ass wine, you're going to gain a little weight. So that's why you got to go to the gym. So lastly, this is a busy city. People are busy. People are multitasking. They're working when they get home, right? People work when they get home after work, right? And people are multitasking here tonight. If you have some information you can share, concise, quickly, share it, help people do their job, and they can forward it on, and then they look like they're the ones that found that information. So, lastly, I came up here for an internship 14 years ago. I was hoping to find a job that would pay me to dress up and talk to people, and I've been here 10 years, and now I've successfully talked to a room of people much cooler than I am, and didn't get booed off stage, so I'm going to say this is to DC and all of you. Cheers.
Cheers. Amen. Amen. Do we have any questions for Amos? No. Anything?
Over there.
Oh, you are eager.
I'm sorry.
This is Prezi. Let everybody.
It's awesome.
You should meet Morgan Gress right over here. Morgan, stand up. Morgan is an intern in our program. She's a senior at American University. Somebody hired her. She interns with us 2 days a week, and she made this presentation.
Shameless plug. We love it.
Thank you, Morgan.
She's also in there. Any other questions for Amos?
Okay, if you were gonna give like advice for communications for Occupy DC, what would you say?
Get a job. Oh my God. Update your resume.
No boo here. Hey, listen, take it up with him after.
You let a guy wear a suit here, this happens. I know.
The best. You look good. You look good.
Tonight. Yeah.
So, the whole point of this too is to spark a discussion, you guys. So this is good. Get up here and tell him he's wrong. When you get out of here, tell him he's right. Any other questions for Amos before we move on? No?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Give it up. Give it up.